Oh, right. Well, it's August, which I'm like, I don't know how we're here, but it's a new month. And it's funny because normally before like really digging into this business and these programs, I'd be like, okay, a new month, I'm going to set these new goals and I'm going to like be better at this and be more consistent. And it's funny because now I'm like, oh, it's just another day where I'm going to do my best and show up and continue my program because it's a lifestyle change. And I think that it just hit me today. It's like, oh, I'm really not doing anything that different for a new month. And I think that's where it should be, which is awesome, at least in my opinion. So I don't know if you guys feel that way. Of course, if you've fallen off, maybe you are wanting to do some things better, but the beauty of what we do is like, you don't have to be perfect. I literally just threw away Brady's birthday cake because we couldn't stop eating it. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, I failed at nutrition. I'm like, this sugar just needs to get out of our house because no one likes it. It's not good. And I don't want her to have it. And I don't want to be having her try to eat everything I eat. So anyway, I think that's a really cool thing.
Now
so
I have to eat all the cupcakes. I can't throw them away.
I'm normally like that.
That's what we did. That's what we did for my sons. Like I do like cupcakes instead of a birthday cake because cakes are just so messy to me and I can't handle cleaning up after them. So we had like 30 cupcakes and I think we have like 12 left. Dude, we ate the entire cupcake cake in 3 days.
Well, it's either like eat it all and get it out fast or like throw it out. So
I kid you not, I was probably eating like over the week we had his birthday party. I bet you I ate like 3 to 4 cupcakes a day and I didn't even care. I was like, yeah, whatever.
They're almost
like, not gonna last forever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just like cool that we don't have to be like, oh my God, I failed or I messed up. And that's what we offer people because life isn't perfect. With that, we are kicking off Team Cup. So most of you are on a team, I believe. Maybe you're chatting with your team, maybe you have a WhatsApp app chat going, whatever it is. But just remember, this is your month to push. This is your month to really challenge yourself and they say 10x, but really push yourself to your goals. Maybe it's just hitting Success Club and helping 3 people, but maybe it's also pushing past that. Maybe it's hitting Success Club 10 and signing up 2 new partners, whatever it is. I challenge you to think about that and share it in your group of where you're chatting with your team and just say, hey, this is my goal. This is where I'm at, and help hold me accountable, because we know if we can hold each other accountable and we have belief in ourselves and we're taking action, you are going to reach your goals. And I think it just takes a commitment from you, but also knowing maybe that these people are also counting on you for Team Cup. I think it's really cool to just be like, all right, they're going to crush their goals. I better not be the one falling behind. And that's not the mindset you have to have, but I think it's encouraging to me. So maybe it's encouraging too. I was looking through the August email that they send out for like the August updates. Oh my gosh, I didn't check my emails today. And I get a million junk emails. It's insane. I have 98 emails. So the one, do you guys all get the monthly news, like August monthly news from Body email, where it just breaks down everything? Okay. So I didn't see anything that's that new or exciting. We still have our $20 off promo codes. It should be your first name, letters TSP, numbers 20, Total Solution Pack 20. And that is good for any Total Solution Pack, $20 off. There's also a deal going on where we're trying to get clarity about it, but I believe it's any current BOD member that has not yet upgraded to the Body platform, which is basically this all, you had that choice, I think it was through March, that you can choose BOD or Body. And then once it went into April, it was like, you just get Body. So these are customers that do not yet have Body, but have BOD. They can upgrade for $140 and get the whole Body platform and like a total solution with that. I'm sure they're going to give more details with that, but if you have any current customers that fall in that category, that could be really helpful for them. does anyone else have any other updates that I'm missing? Okay. Well, let's dive in, because I found that this call was really interesting because Moira actually brought in 2 coaches that have seen success pretty quickly, and they're like growing their businesses, and just like you and me, like they're not at the top of the top, and I still got really good advice from them and little pointers. So I hope you guys felt the same way, and it gave you that vision or that moment of like, wow, this actually is possible for me. I believe they hit Emerald in a few months, and then the one is 2-star, but it just takes, and I say this all the time, but consistency and action. And I'd love to hear, I took a few bullet notes, and I feel like it's just always going back to the basics of little tips and things that you can incorporate into your business that I think would help you have a little shift or see some success in a different way if you feel like things aren't working. But I'd love to hear if you guys have anything that you want to share first before I keep talking. I'm gonna grab my water while you think about it.
I can go. Hopefully you don't hear my children screaming upstairs. They're getting backs. But anyway, so what stood out to me from this call was just how she, when they were talking about, there was like very common connection was super key and stuff. And Moira popped in there and she's like, I hope that you guys are picking up on this. You do not send, like the very first message does not include an invite like whatsoever. And so that was something that was like, crap, because I do that all the time. I'm really bad about that. So I'm like, okay, got to switch things up. So yeah, I've been spending days where I'm like, okay, I am connecting right now, you know, like actually intentionally, I will not do anything but connect with people. So that's been something on my radar. And then also this was like at the end. So maybe it doesn't go along with necessarily the steps and stuff to do. But when she was talking about like how a lot of people say they'll die for their children, but well, are you really willing to like live for them? And what that means is, yes, you have to hustle. Yes, you have to put the work in and get your crap together and build that legacy for them. And so that gives them that opportunity to see the life that you built for them, but also just like know that they can accomplish their dreams and do everything that they want in life. And so that was something that just like lit my fire, because it was so much more of like really living. What is really living? I mean, even as like parents, I feel like we limit ourselves when we have young kids and we're like, oh, well, I can't go do that vacation, or I can't go out to eat or whatever because I have this kid. And like, okay, but that's not living life to the fullest, you know, that's not like living for them. You shouldn't stop living because whatever your limits that you're placing on yourself. So saying that just because I'm feeling that hardcore and just knowing like it's time to hustle, it's time to kick butt and just work to make a difference in my life and their life.
I love that. And it is, I feel like all the little nuggets in this call were like inspiring and just little like jabs where it's like, hey, remember, this is why you're doing this. And I think Moira does really good at it. Just like, it's kind of like the tough love push that you're talking about, Tiffany. But get back to the invite thing. I wrote, do not kill your relationship or combo with an invite. And I think that's really key, because I think it's hard to connect with people. So if you're looking at your business activity tracker and like you're following new people, you're then connecting with new people, you're building that relationship, and then you're inviting them. It's like the wheel. But like sometimes we get like, we jump the gun and we're like, I'm just going to invite them. Because she said, it's like, I said, I'm going to invite 10 people, so I better find 10 people. But I like her perspective of like, build that relationship. And then, so how I do it is, if a relation or a conversation with a person falls off, I will sometimes invite them randomly after our conversation fell off, like the following month, but I won't do it right away. And I feel fine with that because I'm not like, it's not like an initial, like, hey, like, you want to do this with me? But sometimes if they're commenting on your post or your reels or in your story, and they make it very, very clear that they're interested in what you're doing, you can start it off with some type of like, hey, thanks for the love on my reels. Are you also looking for this? Are you blah, blah, blah? Like, I don't personally see anything wrong with that as long as they made the initial contact showing interest. But if it's just like a normal follow, I don't recommend sending an invite right away, because I think Julie said this, but it was like, don't be a weirdo. Like, if you follow someone just because you want to, wouldn't you be creeped out if they were like, hey, thanks for the follow, like, do you want to join me? And you're like, I just wanted to check out your kid's dress, or like whatever. Like, how would that make you feel? So I always try to put myself in the shoes of like the person I'm talking to, of like, would I say that if I saw them at the grocery store, or am I being really awkward? And just kind of pretend I'm saying it out loud. And that seems to help me. But would you walk up to someone that you just saw in the grocery store, never met, and say, hey, would you want to join me in my accountability group? No, you'd say like, hey, how are you? I see you have a little one. My daughter's about the same age. How are you? Like, think of those conversations with like out being awkward. And I think that's how it should reflect in social media. That was a tangent. But anyway, thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have any key takeaways?
Yes, I do. It actually like hit me pretty hard because I was listening to it on my way to work this morning, and then when I was sitting at work, and it kind of like, and it hit me because like yesterday was just terrible for me. We have been so like, life has just been so crazy busy, and usually Sundays are like our day to like chill and relax. And we've just been on the nonstop go since my son's basically, since his birthday party, like it's every weekend just been nonstop, including the weeks. And so like yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to take a rest day, because I just couldn't, I was like, I couldn't get up and push play. And then I called my mom on the way home from work to talk to the kids, and they were like, Mommy, did you exercise this morning? I was like, no, I said I did some stretching, but Mommy's hips hurting. Like, can we exercise? And I'm like, sure. So like I get home, and you know, my kids just like wanted to jump in and exercise with me. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then this morning, once again, I just couldn't, I just could not get up. And I know it's because I was exhausted. I was in bed by 7:30 last night. I was so tired. Like my entire body was just exhausted. I walked in the door from taking my mom physical therapy, and I could barely stay awake or even hold a steering wheel driving home. I was that tired. And I'm just like, my husband looked at me, he's like, go to bed. So for me, it was like, I get home today from work, and both kids are like, Mommy, did you exercise this morning? I was like, no. They're like, come on, we want to exercise with you. So 2 days in a row, I was like, okay, like I'm going to take like a rest day, you know, since they asked me the day before. And then when she turned around, she was like, you have to show up even on your bad days. That's the days that you really need to. And for me, it's like, that was like my push, because it's like doing this for 2 years. And when I first started my journey, I could not get myself out of bed in the mornings to do my workouts in the mornings. I would do them in the evenings. But then I trained my body to get up early, because it would take me 2 hours in the evening to do it, because the kids were all over me. But now that the kids know, like, hey, this is a part of our daily routine now, they're like, they want to do it with me. So even on the bad days, they're like, they don't care if it's a bad day for me. They just want to get up, you know, and do this with Mommy. So that's why for me, I'm like, okay. So I ended up doing a workout today when I thought I was going to have a rest day today. So I was like, okay, we can do this, you know. And then Briella was so cute, because she kept saying, come on, Mommy, you can do this just a little bit longer. We can do this. And so it's crazy hearing her say it back to me, because like even evenings, like when they don't want to work out with me, like they'll hear me say those things out loud to myself. And so it's like, even if they're over like coloring or painting, or, you know, they're playing a game with daddy while mommy exercises, whatever they're doing, they're always watching and they're always listening. So that's why I was like, it's so cool to hear her saying it to me, because that's what she hears me telling myself all the time. So yeah, should share that. So yeah, it's good to show up on your good days and your bad days, and your bad days you need the most.
And they turned around your bad days probably by doing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then like today I was like, normally Tuesdays, because my husband has a work meeting before, like it's like an hour gap between his meeting and then when we do the Zoom call. And then today I was like, we just need to get out the house. We haven't had the dog out for a walk in like 5 days. Like we usually go out for a walk almost every day. We need to get out the house. And then I was like second guessing it. And then after like I worked out with the kids, I was like, we're going for a walk. It's like, gave me like this burst of energy. So the kids like running all over the trail and stuff, getting their energy out, which I'm like, that's fine with me. But it's like, if I wouldn't have come home and done that, I would have been laying on the couch not wanting to do anything.
Right.
So it's nice seeing it, you know, play out after, you know, they watch you for so long. And there's like, I've had like moms reach out to me and be like, well, my kids are like, you know, 8, 9 years old, you know, they like put up a fight and they're like, oh mom, you know, we need this. And I said, and I told her, I said, when I first started my journey, it was not easy. I said, my son would either sit next to me or come sit right underneath me and cry at my feet, thinking it would cause me to stop my workout and just pay full attention to him. I was like, and then he started realizing that mommy's not stopping just because you're crying because you don't need anything and you're just being a fussy pants. Then he started getting to the point where he would go watch TV, and now that he's wanting to join me and stuff like that. So I told him, I'm like, it's not going to happen in a month. I'm like, I've been doing this 2 years. And I told him, I said, it took me a good 6 months for him to finally realize that mommy's not stopping.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think these are all good things to share. And that's your
audience.
Yeah,
definitely.
They'll be able to relate to that, even if it's like, yes, my kid is working out with me, but it wasn't always like this. And I think it just takes little stories like that to get your people. I think that's awesome. I liked your little post the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I liked everything you guys just said, but I also wrote down when they were talking about all like being teachers and about how if you're only putting in, you know, 60 or 70%, you're getting a C or a D. And I was like, oh, Carla, you were an A student. Get this done every day. You know, like, so that was just kind of a like, you can't slack and expect to be successful. Like, everyone has to go through the same process. It's just how much time and effort you're putting into it that's going to pay you back. So I literally wrote, Carla, do better. So hopefully.
I love that. I know there are a lot of good reality checks where it's like, oh yeah, we're expecting all these results, but am I actually putting in the effort? Am I putting in A work or C work? And maybe that's a Post-it note we all need up in front of our faces when we're doing work. I love that. Anyone else? All right. So I kind of wrote bullets that I think could help you guys. And it's kind of a summary, but of a few different things that if you are new to your business or you're trying to start something out after kind of falling off, or if you're trying to rediscover yourself, I think it'll help all of you. So if you haven't yet had like a coming out post or like a I can help you post with your story and like be talking to your niche or your market, I think that could be really helpful. Because if I go to your page and I don't know that I can join you, then is your business really open? So we want to make it clear that people can join you. And I think if you feel like you have like a fresh start or you're newly talking to a new group of people or a new market, like share your story and let them relate to you. And I think those vulnerable posts where you're 100% you and sharing why you're showing up every day, you're going to get more comments and like whatever likes, communication starting on those posts than if you're very high level and sugarcoating everything. So I challenge you to do one of those posts if you haven't done them yet or in a while. It will be uncomfortable, but they said the uncomfortable things are worth it because it's what has helped her change so many lives. And I forget exactly how she put it, but yes, we go through these uncomfortable and vulnerable situations with posts and everything because we remember that one life we changed, or those thousands of lives we've changed, or why we're doing this because we're going to change thousands of lives. And I think it's worth it to be a little scared if you know that's the outcome of it. That was challenge 1. Also, some tips. So if someone is following you, do you guys normally reach out and like send them a message and just start a relationship or conversation with them? Or do you kind of say, oh, cool, she's watching me and like, whatever, like maybe I'll see if she likes my stuff. If you're letting someone follow you and like you're not saying anything to them, I recommend, and I think you always get a notification when someone follows you, or you can see who is following you in your list on Instagram at least, but reach out to them and just say, hey, thanks for the follow. Like, I'm excited to get to know you more. That's a conversation starter. Because if people are making the effort to hit follow, why would you not start a conversation with them? I wouldn't wait for them to say something to you. Another thing is, while you are sharing on your story and posting, it goes along with like making sure people know that your business is open, but be talking about the business opportunity and how you make it work for you. So like, I talk to moms a lot and they're like, oh, I never have time. I can never do that. So each day I try to show them how I make it work into my day, how I do it. And I still am there present with my daughter, but then she goes for a nap and I have like an hour and then I'm focused. I'm not doing the laundry. I'm not doing the dishes. I'm focused on my business, and just share how you're making this work. And I think that could be really beneficial because people are watching and they're probably like, oh, that's an inspiring story, but I could never do it. So we're addressing their doubts and their limiting beliefs that are probably holding them back. But the second that we address the things that they're literally saying in their head, they're going to be like, wow, okay, so if she could do it and had that belief, why couldn't I? Another one, if you're inviting to the business opportunity and you're newer and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I don't even know how to mentor people. I don't know how to coach people. Like, I can't invite. Ask if they want to do this with you. So if you're a newer coach, or like you feel like you've never mentored anyone before, but you want to sign partners, and I keep crossing my partners and coaches, but you know what I'm saying. Just say, hey, I'm doing this. Would you want to be like accountability partners in this business and do this together? And literally walk through the big goals with your new partners. If you feel like you're not qualified enough, do it with them versus thinking you have to get to the top and be way better than them before you can mentor them. And in the end, it's just keeping it really simple and not thinking you have to be perfect. Everything we learn in this business is be yourself, talk to your market, talk to your person. When you're talking on your stories, instead of saying you guys or all of you, like plural, try saying singular, or pretend you're talking to that one person. Pretend you're saying, I know you have felt this way. Mama, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like, pretend you're talking to one person, and it's going to feel way more relatable than being like, hey guys, I hope everyone's having a really good day. Say, hey, how are you doing today? Like, pretend you're talking to one person. And just when it comes to keeping it simple, I think we overcomplicate it. We literally have all the tools at our fingertips with the business activity tracker, and you just have to take action. And yes, crap comes up every single day and you're like, holy cow, how am I ever going to get this done? But if you're setting office hours and you're looking at this like a business and you're being effective during your time, even if it's only an hour a day, if that, like, you should be making progress. You should be able to go to your business activity tracker and say, okay, I checked this box, and just follow the process. And if it comes down to it that you have no one to invite because you haven't been doing the rest of the activity tracker, don't invite that day. Double up on something else so your invites don't feel icky, or invite to your warm market people that you've already talked to before. And I think if you guys just, versus keeping it, like, I know if you're anything like me, we overthink things and we get in our heads and we complicate it, but this is a really simple business. It's just showing up consistently every single day. And that's what it comes down to. And I really do love the question of, what effort are you putting in? Are you putting in A, B, C, D, E, F effort? Because I know a lot of partners complain like, oh, it just doesn't work. And I'm willing to bet they're ones not putting in the effort. And that's kind of a nice reality check. So that is literally everything I took from that call. And I did listen to it a few times so I could take notes because I can't remember anything without writing it down. But I challenge you guys to really think through for this month. 1, identify your niche. Who is your niche? Who's your market? Who are you talking to? When you're talking to them on your stories, like, talk to that person specifically, that one person, and really start sharing some stories of like, why is that your niche? Is it because of something in your past? Share those like before and afters of life and really just let them get to know you. And I know that's probably the scariest part of this job, but I think it'll be worth it because people are like, wow, I'm not alone. And even if they don't say it right away, it is something where you're making an impact and they will eventually come around. So with that, do you guys feel like there's a part in the tracker that you are struggling with most? Maybe we could talk through some brainstorming of how to do it a little better.
I'll go just because, to get it out there, get out of the way. So I have struggled since I started coaching, still struggle to this day with engaging. So the call, I am also one of the ones that just wants to go in for the kill and be like, well, if you're, well, this is what gets me. This is what gets me, okay? Hear me out. People will watch your stories and everything for months and months. You can comment on their posts. You can do this. You can do that. You can make conversation. And like, it's going great. And then the second you go in for that dive, it's crickets. But then you have others that you go in for the kill and they're like, yes, let's do this. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And then you always have the ones that are like, always want to complain about every little thing in their posts. And like, you comment because you truly do care. And in the back of your mind, I'm like, I have a solution for you. I can fix this. Like, I have a solution. But all they want to do is, pardon my friends, bitch and complain about it. And then, of course, all the other ones that are commenting on the post and they're like feeding off all the negativity. And then you end up having to turn off your Facebook notifications because you happen to comment to the wrong post that everybody's blowing up. And I'm like, this is hope. I get so frustrated sometimes with Engage. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I get so frustrated with it because the only time that I can mentally focus to engage with people, just because I deal with people all day long and I don't want to deal with people once I get home from work, is at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then that's when everybody posts their complaints. And then I sit there and it takes me 10 minutes to read the stupid post. So I get so frustrated.
So what if you engaged on things that brought you joy instead? Or
But I do. But like for me, it's like if I see something, you know, that's got like, say it's not just a post, but it's got like a cute picture with it, like, oh, let me read this post about it. It ends up turning into something negative. Well, then I get halfway through the post. And then if I don't finish reading the post, then it bugs my head because I'm like, well, what was the ending? How did the post end? Like, it's just bad. Like, it doesn't even have to be a negative post. It's just so frustrating because I get people are like, be an open book, you know, share your life. And I'm like, this is why I can't post stuff like that's too long, because I know if I don't want to go back through and reread a post before I post it, I know nobody else wants to read a post that's a book long. Does anybody else feel my pain in that department?
Honestly, I normally engage in Instagram and I like the picture and say something about the picture. And half the time, unless it's catchy at the beginning, don't read the post. And that's what my engagement like goes with.
I've gotten better at looking at posts and be like, oh, this is a cute picture. And rather than actually reading the post, I'll like type something up. But then before like I actually like comment on it, like hit the little comment button, like put it in the comments, I'll actually go through and see what everybody else is commenting to make sure I'm commenting the right thing.
Right.
And there was this really cute post earlier today that I went to comment, oh, so cute. It ended up being somebody lost like an animal. And I'm like, I'm going to look like an idiot if I put, oh, how cute. Instead, I had to hurry up and delete the comment and say, oh, so sorry for your loss. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
I feel like that's where, sorry, Abby, you can.
No, I've had that situation. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is where like being so clear on your niche is so important, because currently, like that's how it was for me, is like engaging with these people who are like just these random weirdos who are posting all this crazy stuff and whatever. But I feel like I've niched down so much to where now I can scroll my feed to engage with people and it's like new moms, like birth stories, like things that I'm like, okay, I can connect with you, or like comment on this genuinely. And so that's been a huge shift for me, because now I'm like, oh, it's not even bad engaging with people. It's just seeing their cute babies and hearing their empowering birth stories. So I don't know. I feel like that's just been something super helpful for me.
Maybe I should go through my friends list and like see who I do and don't like talk to. That's another step that I'll have to dig into finally. It's only taken me a year and a half.
Yeah, I think if you're engaging on people that are in your niche, it is easier. It's like,
well, it's people that are in my niche, but I think it's just like, it's people that aren't, how do I explain it? Like the moms that have kids, but they're whatever they're going through, it's kind of like when you're going through that rough situation in life and you feel like there's like no light at the end of the tunnel kind of situation. And like, you're just trying to put something out there to be like, okay, is there anybody out there that understands what I'm going through kind of a thing? But rather than people like commenting on the post, like, oh, come on, you can do this. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. Like if you ever need to talk, I'm here, blah, blah. People are just like, there's just so much negativity out there in the world right now. And like, everybody just feeds off of it. And I'm like, why are you like this? Like, why? It just drives me nuts.
Yes, if you can detach emotionally from it, maybe it will help. But honestly, I think it is who you're like, maybe it is going to take that audit and like you figuring out who you should be reaching out to, and if they don't bring your energy down, because that's no fun. And I would hate that too. And
yeah,
I don't know, how do you guys feel about finding your niche on Facebook? I think I literally go to friend request people and it doesn't let me ever. It says, I've been
having that a lot lately.
I don't even know how to connect with people on Facebook. if I can't even like their post because it says they're private or whatever, you can only share it. And then what am I going to do? Message them because I see their profile picture? I don't understand how to engage on Facebook, and maybe you guys can
see
help.
when I go in, I went in and like requested to join like a bunch of groups that involve like moms, like groups that have like moms that have like kids the same age as like my kids, or like, you know, groups that involve dogs, like different stuff like that, or like people that work in the medical field, like all that stuff. That's what I went in and did like probably a couple months ago now. I went in and did that, which is fine. But like, then I go in, you used to be able to go to like all the members of the group or whatever, but it's not, it'll only allow me to like friend request maybe 3 people, like out of the whole list. That's it. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I have to go into like people like, oh, people you may know, like, or, you know, people you have like, things in common with, like in just like the general list, not even in the group section. And then I have to go from there. But then I have to go through, and I can only friend request like 1 a minute. Because if I do more than 1 a minute, because I timed it the other day, if I do more than 1 a minute, then it will say you don't have anything in common with this person, only friend request people that you have things in common with. And I'm like, well, first of all, how does it make any sense? Like, how do you know that I don't know this person? Like, so yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me is that.
And not efficient.
Yeah, it is very frustrating. And I haven't gotten around to doing that on Instagram yet. I'm still working through Facebook. I'll get there eventually.
So Instagram might take your worries away and your stress away doing this, because you can go to pages and just follow them. You don't have to like request to be their friend. You can find pages and just like, even if they're private and you hit follow, like it doesn't deny you. And then I think it's easier to find your niche, but I get super frustrated with Facebook because even like it was someone I actually wanted to like add because I knew them somehow. It was like the girl that was baking our cake from the local area. It's like, we don't think you know this person. I'm like, stupid. So it might be more efficient to like, I find Instagram, I can follow. It's more picture oriented versus wording in most cases. If they're like not doing a business, like it's going to be like, this is my baby, we went to the zoo, or like something very short. So, but yeah, I'm glad that you all struggle with Facebook, because they say it's like the growing thing and it's like where you want to be, but I cannot, it makes me mad.
Well, between that and then when I'm like going in and like what do you call it, like getting rid of like all my like notifications or whatever on Facebook, like I go in to delete them, like sometimes my things will like pop, like when I hit the button, like the pop-up thing that it gives to delete it, like they show up in a different order. So the one time there was like 15 to 25 people that like I went through and apparently turned off like getting notifications from when they were posting stuff. And I didn't even realize I was hitting that until I actually read it, just because I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it was out of order. So like now it keeps giving me this thing, do you want to see more of this? Do you want to see less of this? And I'm like, why am I getting this? And then I realized what it was doing. I was like, this is so stupid. Yeah. So maybe I will start doing a transition to Instagram just to make my life a little easier.
I think it will help with engaging and finding your people. Even like searching hashtags and searching like keywords, you'll find accounts that come up.
Okay. But we'll give it a whirl.
Okay. But in the end, engaging should be something where it feels natural because it's your niche. So if you don't know your niche and you need to talk it out loud, let me know, because that can change everything in your business. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And if I can read your post and it's so high level and I have no idea what happened to you, or like, for example, I've been through a really tough time and now I'm on the brighter side of things because of my health and fitness journey. Well, I know that's the safe way to go, but what if you shared your tough times or a specific tough time and how you're here. And I think that's going to be way more relatable, because if I see a high level thing like, oh, cool, yeah, we all go through tough times, like, I don't know what she's talking about. But like, if she was like something specific and that resonated with me, I'm going to connect with that person more. So that all goes back to being vulnerable, talking to your person and all that good stuff. And if you're making content and not making new connections and not making new followers, you're not going to have that many eyes on your content, or new eyes, which isn't going to grow your business. So make sure you're doing the engaging, the following, so then your content is worth it as well. All right. Does anyone have anything else? I hope you guys got some good nuggets from tonight that you can take into your business for Team Cup Month. And just remember, we have all the tools at our fingertips. It's simple, and it's just showing up consistently and taking action. Any final thoughts or questions or anything? Feelings? All right. I'm going to follow and engage with a few people for like 10 minutes if anyone wants to stay on with me. If not, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'm going to stop recording.